Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar. We are just going to give everyone a few more minutes to join, and then we will get kick-started. So if you just bear with us one more minute. Thank you. Okay, that's great. I think we'll get started now. The numbers have increased a lot in the last minute, so that's great. We'll make a move. So thank you, everybody, for joining this mobile briefing webinar. So we started running these at the start of the year. So we've done February, March, April. We didn't do one in May, so if you feel you may have missed one, you haven't. So we've come back to start again in June. So welcome aboard. So your host today will be myself, Daniel Coughlin. I spoke to, well, hopefully I've spoke to you before. I've done a few sessions the last few weeks. So I'm the mobile and hardware marketing manager. And I've hopefully again met a lot of you at events that we've done over the past year, and you know, worked with you to try and build some assets for marketing and support you to sell. So you know, I'm really keen to, haven't spoke to you before, to start doing that. And I'm really pleased to say that with this webinar, we'll also be joined by Mark Finney. He's the sales manager. So so Mark looks after the desk-based account management team, and I'm sure many of you spoke to Mark before. So really pleased to have him today to talk through this session with me. So just before we get started, we're just going to do just a quick slide on housekeeping. So all your lines should be on mute. So we want to make sure everyone gets the most out of the session. So your lines will be on mute. So if for any reason you think you've come off mute, sometimes there are bugs in the system, so just please make sure you are. The session is being recorded and it will be replayed later today, and we'll also share it with everyone who's attending. And if you have any questions, there is a questions box. So when you've logged in, you should see a little tab for questions. So absolutely feel free to post any questions in there you may have. We'll aim to answer the questions if we can in real time. And also there'll be a time at the end for anything we haven't covered during the session. But if we don't answer your question, then we will endeavour to get back to you. So yeah, please do post some questions. And and of course, your feedback is really important, you know, to shape these webinars and these sessions, in particular the mobile briefing, which, as I mentioned before, we brought back in from February this year. So we're really keen that, you know, you get the most out of these sessions as well. So, you know, your feedback is important to us. So what I'm going to do first, so just expanding on that theme of the mobile briefing webinars. So what you've probably seen from us a lot recently is emails about our DWS Enable series. That's a series of training webinars that we've been running for the last 7-8 weeks. So there's been sessions on all of our different products, services, There's been business advice sessions, so a whole range of different topics. And the mobile briefing webinar has actually now been included in that. So the reason I'm explaining that is on the call today, we would likely have a lot of our network build partners, but we'll also have partners who sell a broad range of products as well. So I just want to make sure, just kind of trying to set the scene as to what this session in particular is about. So on the screen there, of course, you'll see all the different products that we sell as a business. And again, yeah, this session is focused on mobile there. And within mobile, that of course splits out into two different areas. We have wholesale mobile and we have network build mobile. And on network build, you can connect your customers onto O2 EE and Vodafone network build mobile airtime, and that's where this webinar sits today. So in that bottom right pink box there, everything you're going to see today is focused around those props, the guides and commercials. So there's a fair amount to get through. So I hope that sets the scene for you, okay, as to where we are going forward with this session. So and firstly, of course, the June 2020 guides are available for download on the DPP, which is great news. Obviously, they've been on there for a good few weeks now. So we normally do these sessions in the first week, but there has been some interesting changes the first few weeks of June. So we've had to delay this slightly, but we're really pleased we're here now to start to run through essentially the highlights. So we're not going to go through the guide page by page. We would need the best part of the day to do that. But any questions you have about anything that we don't cover, absolutely do raise it. If you can't raise it on this session, then do speak to your account manager. So I will now hand over to Mark Finney, who will talk through the latest commercials and changes. Thank you. Over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Daniel. Good morning, everybody. And thanks, Dan, for inviting me to present on the latest developments from the network build perspective. So, as you mentioned, we'll just basically give you an overview of some of the latest developments and exciting news that we've got across the three networks. So, in no particular order, looking at Vodafone first. These are the headlines, essentially from Vodafone. So, 40% revenue share being paid on standard Vodafone business tariffs, as has been before. But interestingly, 40% revenue share now paid on SIM-only tariffs for new connections and re-signs. Other significant developments: new connection bonus has been significantly hiked up to £220 for new connections, and £200 too for re-sign bonuses on Vodafone. So as it mentioned, they're new for June 2020. The 40% revenue share on Vodafone SIM-only tariffs is a significant hike up, because previously, as you'll know, that was paid at 26%. So it does allow you as the partner to really propose a competitive proposal to your customers at a low line rental, but obviously as a partner you're still receiving a relatively high revenue share, which allows you to make it into a really compelling offer to the customer. That revenue share is on all SIM-only tariffs for both new connections and re-signs, apart from the 30-day rolling tariffs. And as I mentioned, that's a fairly big hike up from the 26% previous. The new connection bonus matrix, which is all, as I mentioned before, that's all detailed in the guide. The uplift in the bonus from Vodafone has been fairly significant, and I think it shows how serious they are about really presenting a compelling proposal for their network. Up to £220, as I mentioned before, from 150, and it's based around monthly access fee. So as you can see on the table there, between 15 and 24.99, 30, etc. All these details are in the guide, but significantly, that's the lower net monthly access fee value of £15 as an entry level for you to still receive a bonus payment. That's a recent change from Vodafone. Previously, you wouldn't receive any new connection bonus for a low line rental such as that, but now you do, and those details are all in the Vodafone section of the guide. The share tariffs, sorry, just go back down. That connection bonus, if you're looking at a business advance plan, for instance, where there may be a mixture of different data allowances, which is then pooled, the way that they look at it is the connection bonus is based across the average of the monthly access fee across the entire account. So as it mentions, speak to your desk-based account manager or your BDM for more information in terms of what you would qualify for and connection bonuses on a specific deal that you're looking to propose. Similar setup with re-sign bonuses. Again, these are in the guide for you to be able to see, so you can it gives you full visibility of how to structure a re-sign proposal for the customer. Again, a lowering the entry monthly access fee value down to £15, where you can start to receive a re-sign bonus, and then for your higher ARPU customers who are looking at maybe an unlimited plan or a large amount of data, it's up to £200 as a re-sign bonus. So it's quite a significant hike up from what it was previously. So at month 18, you can engage with that customer and put together a competitive re-sign for them. In addition, on Vodafone, this is something that was launched at the start of the or a couple of weeks into the COVID period that we're in at the moment, is the emergency worker tariffs. They offer a standard unlimited data tariff, which is available on a 1-month rolling contract for £15 ex VAT. And then also you can have an unlimited data add-on for single data users. So this is something that we'll allude to later on in the presentation. We've seen a fairly big expansion from the customer's perspective in terms of people who may not have been home workers in the past, but obviously are now forced to be. And hand in hand with that is a requirement for more mobile data. So Vodafone have launched this portfolio of emergency worker tariffs. It was originally set up for 3 months, but obviously because we're all still in this period of uncertainty at the moment, they have extended that. I think it's effectively indefinitely. It's been reviewed on an ongoing basis until such time as we get back to some semblance of normality. And they're on page 4 of the guide. Again, on the mobile data side of things, mobile broadband unlimited promo is at your level of £21 per month for unlimited data, and then the max promo, which was obviously the completely untrammeled data download speeds, at £24.75. And again, details on page 42 of the guide for that. Then looking at O2, again looking at the headlines, continuation of 40% revenue share paid on small business and SIM-only mobile tariffs. On the SIM-only promotional tariffs, which traditionally are quite aggressive in terms of the low line rental, but a comparatively high data allowance, 29% on those, and then up to £235 on new connection bonuses on some of the higher tariffs. And then in the spirit of basically being as open as we can with the partners, we have got some exciting news coming soon. Well, I don't know about you, but probably coming soon is a haircut for me in July. But we have got, we've been given notification from O2. We can't really share the exact details with you right now, but a portfolio of SIM-only plans that are going to be available on a 30-day basis. But importantly, these are also going to be available for re-signs as well. I think based on some of the feedback that we've provided the network with, they've recognised the fact that there are some partners that are in the situation where their customers may not want to commit to a long-term contract as a re-sign proposal at the moment. But obviously, if they are out of contract, then that leaves you as the partner not receiving anything from from RevShare perspective, and you've been managing that customer for effectively zero cost. So coming soon in July, we've got this option that you can propose these 30-day SIM-only tariffs to re-sign customers as well as new, and obviously for customers that may need short-term home workers or additional staff, etc. That's the reason O2 have gone with this. Obviously, as soon as we get the actual details in terms of the line rentals and the data allowances, etc., we'll share that information with you as a as a marketing update. That's a list from the guide in terms of the existing 30-day SIMO promo tariffs that are available right now. Obviously, this list of tariffs is due to be extended or refreshed when we get the new ones launched in July. But as you can see, significant amounts of data for relatively low line rental cost, 50 gig for £28, and those promotional tariffs are paid at 29%. Again, further list, these are the this is a further list of some of the other SIMO promo tariffs that are available at 29% as well. And then you've got obviously various different contractual terms that the customers can be signed up to. As it alludes to, they're available until the 1st of July. This portfolio of SIM-only tariffs is going to be refreshed very soon. Looking at EE, again, from a headline perspective, 45% on revenue share on speed price plans for new and upgrades, with the EE's promotional tariffs paid at 15%. Revenue share advanced upfront on all tariffs up to 24 months, so that we as DWS pay the partner, pay you the partner the entire revenue share upfront for the 24 months. And then continuation of, so that if that customer is a relatively high spend customer, if they are incurring costs on either data overage or international costs, etc., then you receive 45% revenue share on that residually on a monthly basis. And from a commission perspective on new connections, obviously you can see yourself there for the higher ARPU tariffs. It's a generous proposition on EE, because obviously, you know, to allow you to supply top end kit for those higher ARPU customers. Some of the details on the EE SIMO promotions there. As I mentioned before, 50% revenue share on the EE SIM only ones. Again, significant amounts of data for relatively low line rental. And with the 3 months free promotion, partners can sign a customer onto the 24 months business SIMO 10 gig tariff at £18 per month, and the first 3 months line rental is free of charge. So on the back of that, we'll still advance you the 21 months worth of revenue share at 45%, to allow you to, you know, obviously again, maybe supply the customer with a subsidized piece of equipment, etc., at a relatively low rate, at £18 a month for 10 gig. And we thought we obviously regularly conduct analysis on, you know, what you as the partner community are connecting to ourselves. We've done some analysis over this quarter's connections, and we just thought it might be, you know, informative to share this with you. So for new connections from the 1st of April to, well, 17th, we've seen, well, across all networks really, I think it'd be fair to say there's quite a high preponderance of tariffs that include a lot of data. So, you know, especially Vodafone, the most popular tariffs that the partners have been selling to the customers are around unlimited data plans, unlimited max, mobile broadband unlimited. Again, on O2, looking at, you know, 60 gig tariffs or unlimited, with 60 gig at £32. I think obviously looking at the reason behind some of these trends, I think probably to do with COVID and the fact that there are a significant uplift in the number of home workers who may not have been home workers in the past and not had a requirement for mobile data, or as much of a requirement for mobile data. So they're the most popular tariffs that we've sold over this period, that our partners have sold over this period. So we thought it'd be informative to share that information with you. And then, so that's the commercial outlook and the recent developments from a commercial perspective across the 3 networks. I just wanted to spend some time also, some of you may have already know about this from discussions you've had with your BDMs or your DBAMs, and it's to do with our new distribution partner portal, which we've invested significantly into revamping how our partners interact with ourselves in terms of submission of jobs or access to information, etc., and obviously try to make it as easy as possible. So the new distribution partner portal, DPP, is something that we're in the process of rolling out at the moment. As I say, you've probably spoken to your BDM about it or DMO about it already, and this is ongoing. Essentially, we are rolling this out to the partners, and there's some interesting developments in terms of what it allows you to do. Obviously, it allows you to manage your account with DWS. You've got access up to 8 different applications that are presented on the landing page of the portal in a sort of tile format. The flagship part of it, I suppose, really is the base management application, which I'll give some more details on in a second. There's also an app. One of the tiles is to do with hardware pricing. Obviously, taking on board feedback from the partners about the ease of access to information around hardware pricing. So that's on there to facilitate that as well. And it's all about, as I say, it's all about making it an enhanced user experience for the partners and just making it easier for them to interact with ourselves. To give you a sneak peek, some of you may have already seen this as well, but as I mentioned, it's on a sort of tile basis, and those 8 different applications essentially cover most of the interactions that you would have with us in terms of requests. InTouch is I suppose the main driving form thing behind the portal. It's where you submit all your requests, where you submit your connection requests, how you get jobs processed, logging your job on InTouch, and then that's hitting our service delivery teams for them to process for you. And also on there, you'd obviously log any bespoke jobs that you would need your DBAM to pick up for you and process. As I mentioned before, base management is probably the flagship part of the portal. Not got the time to go through this in full detail on this webinar, but again, speak to your BDM, speak to your DBAM with regards to it. It really ticks off a lot of the requests that you would normally have to do as a manual request and go through and speak to somebody and ask them for that information for them to produce that manually and send it across. Base management does that for you. It gives you an exact overview of your base, where it's at in terms of commitment, end dates, etc., where you're at in terms of what's remaining. As if you were looking to re-sign that customer, what the clawback figure would be if you were looking to re-sign that customer. It gives you an indication of your recent performance over a quarterly basis. How many connections have you done? What's the size of your base? How much of that base is in contract and out of contract? What dates are they coming out of contract? Again, I've not got time to go through the full details of it, but your DBAM or your BDM will be more than happy to run through it with you. And as I say, the sign-up process is ongoing, so we're keen to get this rolled out. We're proud of it, so we're really keen to get partners signed up for it for them to enjoy the benefits of it. Your account, again, this is where it gives you a full indication of what your account looks like with the DWS in terms of your commission payments, where you stand, in terms of kit orders that you've placed, etc., and your basically your account with DWS. Viability is something that maybe some of the partners might not be familiar with. It's our commercial stacking tool, which gives you the ability to stack a deal and then see what that looks like for you as the partner in terms of profitability and whether it's a viable deal or not. Again, your DBAM would be more than happy to run through that system with you in more detail. Knowledge Bank, everybody should be familiar with. That's where the guide resides, or the network guide. So with the latest pricing information in terms of line rentals and commission payments and revenue share advances, etc. And then marketing is an addition. It's a new addition. It's been separated out from the Knowledge Bank, which obviously that's a repository for all the information that pertains to the networks. Marketing has been separated out because this gives you a direct conduit in through to Dan's team for any support that you would like to lean on DWS for to develop powerful and you know, important marketing campaigns. So, for example, you could from the marketing section of the DPP, you can access the various different network marketing portals. You could submit a request that would hit Dan's team if you wanted to devise a specific campaign around a specific tariff or targeting a specific sector of customers or something like that. So that, as I said, that gives you a conduit straight through to Dan's team. We really encourage the partners to work with Dan's marketing team to, well, essentially just to allow you to hopefully try and win more business. Hardware pricing, that does what it says on the tin. Essentially, it's giving you the latest pricing on equipment, and we try to make it as easy as possible in terms of you being able to apply filters. So, right, okay, well, I want to know what the cost of a certain device is. You'd apply a filter of the manufacturer. You'd use a sliding scale to say, okay, well, I want to look at all this specific manufacturer's phones, but I don't want to pay any more than a certain amount, and it will pull through all those devices that pertain to those specific filters. And then user management is the self-management bit for the partner. So that gives you the ability to, if you need to reset your password to access the portal, or if you've got a new starter or somebody's changed, somebody's left your organization, you wanted to add a new person on, then rather than coming through to the service delivery team to request that, you can manage it yourself and do it directly on the portal. So that's, as I say, just to reiterate, with regards to the new portal, we're really proud of it, and you know, really hope that that the partners embrace it. We think it'll make your life easier. So speak to your BDM or DBAM with regards to it, and they'll be more than happy to give you a run through and hopefully get you signed up for it. So on that note, I will hand back to Dan, and thanks very much.
Thank you, Mark. That was great. And I just want to echo Mark's comments there about the portal. It is, it's a game changer. You know, I've seen it being developed and I've seen it being used in real time. And as Mark said, we have some very lucky partners who are using it, and the feedback has been incredible. So unfortunately, we don't, as Mark said a couple of times, this particular session isn't dedicated to that new portal, but I can assure you there will be dedicated sessions coming soon on that. So again, as Mark said, I encourage you, if you're not currently going through the process of transitioning over to the new portal, then speak to your desk-based account manager, because there is a very simple process to do it, where you will all the apps that Mark just showed you, you will choose so that the partner principal starts the process, and you choose what apps you want your team to access. So it's a really great tool. So in terms of hardware, I just got one main focus really, and it's kind of a bit of a reminder really. We had a really great webinar session a couple of weeks ago with the team at Cat Phones, who I know we do a lot of work with Cat Phones. They're really good with our partners. Obviously our tagline is all about partnership, and yeah, they really have stood up to the plate there. Everything they say they deliver, they always do, and they're really great to work with, really supportive for our partners. So I just wanted to remind everybody about the session. Sorry, just had a cough. I just want to remind everyone about what they delivered, and if it is still of interest, because it generated a lot of inquiry. So this was the Cat S61 thermal imaging smartphone. So in the current situation that we find ourselves in, with a potential transition back into offices, and as consumers being allowed back into restaurants, pubs, and various other like cinemas, and eventually stadiums, this device offers the ability to monitor, to scan body temperature, which could potentially be really important in securing an office or a leisure building facility. Now, there is a dedicated webinar to this, and I will make sure everyone on this session gets a copy of that, because I can't go into the sort of detail that Cat Phones went onto the the amount of the specs involved in it. But They have some really good case studies and use cases of it being used inside warehouses and factories. So the staff are coming in, and you can just about see on that left-hand side image there, that phone's attached to a tripod, and it's sort of scanning body temperature as people walk in. And hopefully some of you may have joined a couple of our Cat Phones events. We've done one in July last year in Coventry, and one in they co-hosted an event with us in Birmingham, again where we saw lots of different use cases for this. So just wanted to bring it back to your attention, because following the previous webinar we did get loads of interesting feedback from it. And in terms of availability and pricing, so it is available now. The current cost is $545 plus VAT. If you are a traditional distribution partner and you're interested in purchasing it, just speak to your normal routes through sales support. If you're a wholesale partner, then you'll need to send an email to mobilsupport@digitalwholesale-solutions.com. And if you have any, your desk-based account manager, or I'm more than happy to field questions as well. But David Hayden, who hosted the webinar, he's more than happy to speak to partners as well. If you had any more in-depth queries or questions. So I just wanted to bring that back in. So, okay, that pretty much covers the webinar. And in terms of questions, I think we've only had a couple in, and I've answered a couple of them directly. So if you do have any follow-up questions, you can send them obviously in on email, or you can speak to your desk-based account manager. But if not, then we will run this again in July. But thank you, Mark, for your time. That was a really good run through of all the latest commercials, tariffs, and offers.
Thanks, Dan.
That's okay. And again, the new DPP is here. So if what you've seen is of interest, then we can absolutely give you a much in-depth demo, and there will be another session coming soon on that. So thank you everybody for attending, and I hope everyone is safe and well, and I will speak to you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.